According to recent reporting, the MAGA Republicans determined to impeach President Biden are apparently intending to make their currently unproven claims of bribery the basis by which they do so, and many other Republicans in the House and in the Senate are not happy about it. But before we unpack all that, if you haven't yet, please hit that like, subscribe, and the alert bell. Maybe check out my Patreon. I'd appreciate the support. All right, folks, so again, we've got another impeachment story to discuss. It is incredibly unpopular, as we've discussed in previous videos. The vast majority of Americans don't support an impeachment. They don't think the evidence is there. Even other conservative commentators on Fox News and other parts of the media are calling out House Republicans, particularly James Comer and Jim Jordan, who are nominally in charge of the witch hunt against President Biden, to deliver the goods. What's your proof? What's your evidence? What are the impeachable offenses, and what is the evidence to support making those claims against the president? And they constantly come up short again and again and again and again. But to appease their far-right base and Donald Trump, they are continuing to, well, I should say a segment of them, a very loud, very powerful, disproportionately powerful segment, continue to rush ahead towards impeachment. And it's putting Kevin McCarthy in a really awkward situation for which we have no sympathy, and which we've discussed in previous videos, because he's trying to manage a herd of cats for an impeachment that, even if it goes through, will absolutely fail in the Senate. So according to recent reporting that's apparently exclusive from The Messenger, multiple Republicans have spoken to The Messenger saying, listen, we're narrowing the scope to bribery. That's going to be the basis, according to this reporting, by which MAGA Republicans try to bring impeachment charges against President Biden. After nearly a year of investigation, House Republicans have decided to try to make bribery the downfall of President Biden as they prepare to open an impeachment inquiry, according to interviews with top House conservatives and 4 senior aides. Key Republicans tell The Messenger that they are honing in on what they say is a pay-to-play bribery scheme involving the first son Hunter Biden's business dealings when he worked for Burisma, the Ukrainian energy company, and his father served as vice president. Now, this is a quote from Chip Roy, who is one of the more deranged MAGA Republicans from Texas. This is not, oh my God, were you in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, so we're going to send literally every friggin' power of law enforcement after you and your family. This is literally, there was money flowing to the son of the vice president turned president. Representative Chip Roy of Texas, a leading proponent of impeaching Biden, told The Messenger. That money was coming from foreign countries, said Roy. The vice president and then president was then lying about his knowledge about it. We know that to be true. When Lauren Boebert is asked about it, why should Biden be impeached? For his role in the Biden crime family's acceptance of tens of millions of dollars in bribes from foreign countries. From bank accounts to travel logs to Biden's actions, there's mountains of evidence that Biden was on the take, the House conservative member told The Messenger, and this is somebody who spoke on the terms of anonymity. Now, as The Messenger accurately points out in the next paragraph, no evidence has surfaced, however, that shows President Biden received any of the funds that flowed to his son, and plenty of moderate and establishment Republicans worry impeachment will backfire on the party. So one such person is Representative Ken Buck. But before we get to him, I just want to say they have produced no evidence, none. There are no transactions which tie President Biden himself to any sort of foreign entity, let alone any sort of financial transaction between President Biden and a foreign entity that is somehow illegal. They have not identified a single policy in that President Biden or then Vice President Biden altered for the benefit of Hunter Biden. It's empty hand after another. They constantly fail to produce the evidence. But this is what Republican Ken Buck, a member of the House of Representatives, has to say about impeaching President Biden.
I wanted to get your take on your colleague, Congressman Matt Gaetz, saying he is prepared to force a floor vote on impeaching President Biden. And if Speaker McCarthy blocks the effort, he is threatening to make a motion to oust Speaker McCarthy. What do you think of that?
Well, I think Speaker McCarthy has said a number of times that he wants to bring a vote on the impeachment inquiry, not necessarily the impeachment, but the impeachment inquiry. So I think he and Congressman Gaetz are on the same page there. I don't think that there is an appetite right now for a motion to vacate Speaker McCarthy. I think that we have 3 committees that are working very hard on uncovering evidence of Hunter Biden's wrongdoing. They are looking to see if there is a connection with Joe Biden. If they reach that point where they can find evidence of a connection, fine. I think the Republicans will move forward with an impeachment inquiry. Right now, I'm not convinced that that evidence exists, and I'm not supporting an impeachment inquiry.
There you go, right? Pretty open and shut, while also being surprisingly, well, I shouldn't say surprisingly, understandably generous towards members of his own party, right? He's going out of his way to try to avoid stepping on Matt Gaetz' toes or Kevin McCarthy's toes, but even Ken Buck is saying, listen, the evidence just isn't there, okay? Which further undermines what MAGA Republicans like James Comer, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and all the others are saying. They can't even get that sort of consensus in their own party. And then, of course, as we've discussed before, Republican senators, they're not happy about this either, folks. They're really not. And I'm not going to belabor the point too much, but there was a recent Axios article about this because, of course, the House majority, if there is one, would impeach. You only need a simple majority. There's no guarantee Republicans could get it even if they want it, but let's say they could, because on paper it's possible. Then it has to be tried in the Senate, and to convict President Biden and to remove him from office, you would need a 2/3 conviction. They absolutely will not get that. Asked if she believes that there's enough evidence to impeach President Biden, Senator Shelley Moore Capito of West Virginia, Republican, said, I do not. We've got so many things we need to be focused on. I don't see the glaring evidence that says we need to move forward. I didn't see it in the Trump case. Ugh. And voted against it. I don't see it in this case. Mitt Romney, of course, I don't know that there have been any high crimes or misdemeanors alleged. If there are, that would be a matter to consider. But until something like that is alleged, I don't know what the purpose of the inquiry would be. If we start converting impeachments into no confidence votes and we don't do the homework, then I'm not going to take it seriously, said Senator Tom Tillis, another leadership member. Even Tommy Tuberville, which kind of surprised me here. This is a guy who's doing the one-man block show. Essentially, he is a one-man national security risk because he's single-handedly holding up hundreds upon hundreds of crucial military promotions. Even Tommy Tuberville says, I'm not foregoing through another damn trial, to be honest with you. We did that here with Trump. Even Tommy Tuberville. If you lose Tommy Tuberville, you are truly past. You've jumped the shark. You are past the point of no return. But anyway, that's where they are. They're apparently, MAGA Republicans are trying to hone in, apparently, on a bribery charge. And there's no telling what may happen here, but I do believe that it will be a political disaster for Republicans heading into 2024, especially with 18 of those House Republicans sitting in Biden districts. I don't think this is going to be what the American people reward.